What's up, y'all? John Melton coming to you live, and I'm fired up, jacked up, and excited per usual. We've got the legendary Michelle Churchill in his house. Guys, can you imagine 157 personal recruits? She enrolled 157 people in 9 months this year. This year is really slow. Tell that to Michelle. 157 recruits. In fact, she's in first place, I think, in the whole company, but definitely on our team. She's number one. Number two, Ashley Dawes has 107. So Ashley's killing it, but Michelle has 50 more than Ashley, just to put it in perspective. Literally 33% more personal recruits. It's unfreaking believable. Here I am with 9 recruits this month, and like Michelle is on a whole other level, a whole other planet. She is crushing. But the other thing about Michelle that I love is that she's also enrolled 4,000 customers. Like that customer to rep ratio, it's like astronomical. So would you agree she's probably doing some things that you could duplicate? Would you agree she's probably doing some things that you could model, that maybe you could straight up copy? So I've got her on today to interview her, to have her share her story, her tips, to get you excited, get you focused. Because right now, if you were thinking about getting engaged in whatever network marketing company, whatever MLM you're in, whatever company or product you're promoting, right now would be a good time. Why? Because typically November is the best time of year. I've been in the same company for 9 years, and every year for the last 9 years, November is either the biggest or the second biggest month of the year for 9 years. So I know a lot of companies do promos, a lot of companies do sales, but also people are thinking about spending money. People are looking for deals. People are spending money in November. This is prime time. If you were going to get focused, if you were going to get re-engaged, if you were going to launch or relaunch your business, or you're launching a new business, whatever that looks like, now would be a good time to do it, number one. Number two, we also have our famous ATM challenge. We have not done this in a very long time. We are doing an ATM challenge literally next week. It's going to be 5 days, which is a lot for some of you, but this is for those of you that really want to level up. Okay, this is for those of you that want to get a comma check. Or maybe you want 2 commas next year, right? You want to crack 7 figures. You want to crack 6 figures. Maybe you just want to make $1,000 for the first time. I don't know where you're at in your business. In fact, let me know if you've earned a check with a comma in your network marketing business. But Michelle and I are going to do this challenge next week. It's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 5 days, an hour each day. We're also going to have a VIP option because the challenge is free technically, but there is a VIP option. You can check it out on the link. It's got like a couple bonus power hours where you can watch her work. You can be a part of a VIP chat. Like there's going to be a lot of benefits to be a VIP. And I know some of you already are VIP. Some of you got early bird pricing. Drop it to the comments and let us know. But it literally starts Monday. So we're going to do a training right now. I'm going to interview Michelle so she can share with you what she's doing, what she's done, how she's so consistent. She's literally out recruiting and outselling everyone. Now, her work ethic is ridiculous. She's very talented, but she's only been in network marketing 6 years. Her and I have only been working together for 2 years. So how did she fly past everyone? We're going to talk about that today. And then we've got the challenge next week. If you still need to register for the challenge, you can go to mylifestyleacademy.com/ATM challenge. Also, if you're watching the replay, we'll have it in the description. And if you need the link, you can drop it to the comments and drop ATM challenge. And my team will get back to you with the link ASAP. So Michelle, what's up? How you doing? How you feeling? Happy Friday.
Well, I brought the vibrancy, so I must be feeling good.
You're always feeling good. And I know you just did an intense training last night for the team. You and Ashley tag teamed it. Everybody was raving about that training, and we appreciate all you do because she has an abundant mentality. She doesn't just do trainings for her team. She's not keeping her strategies a secret. She literally goes live all the time, does trainings, interviews like this. She's doing trainings inside of different teams, different groups, in her company, in other companies. She is all about abundance, and she is leading by example, showing people exactly what to do, not just teaching it, but showing people every day how she shows up in her stories, her lives, her reels. And you may not necessarily do everything she does, but how many of us would agree? Maybe you don't recruit 157 people in 9 months, but maybe you recruit 15 people in 9 months. How many of us would be excited, maybe not to get 4,000 customers in 9 months, but 400? How many of you just be excited to have 10% of her results, right? So let's talk about it, Michelle. First of all, before we get into like the strategies and all the story and give them a little bit of your history, even before network marketing, who you were and what got you involved in the profession?
Yes, I would love to. So, hello, I'm so excited for today. You guys, this is going to be a game changer. So, tag your teams because you know what? Abundance is right. Everyone deserves to hear about this, okay? Because this is literally what I'm doing. You can go to my wall and see it. So, I got started in the industry, like John said, actually, it was 6 years ago, which he was right. And I was the person who said no to this industry. I'm talking a very, 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 very hard no. Spent the holidays. I have four sisters. I have a brother. Literally, if you ever do that thing that those people are doing out there, I will disown you as a human being. And I was like, never. Actually, my honest to God perception was that these were women who were with very rich men and they just did this to make like $100 because they had nothing to do with their time. Not did I ever know that this is a profession that can have you build a massive bank account that is a willable, sellable asset. So I always apologize because I was very brutally rude and I was reached out to and will you take a peek and heck no and block, 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 block. Well, fast forward to an area in my life where things had changed. Okay. I was told by my therapist that I needed to leave my ex-husband due to, reasons that I don't need to discuss. And I left him and I was a single mom working full time as an HR specialist. Would come home, would get Bella into bed by 7 p.m., literally sometimes 6:30, and I'd go in the basement where I did hair. And I would do hair and I'd go get ready for bed and eat something. And I'd literally look at the time and be like, oh my gosh, it's midnight. Looking back, I don't even know how I did it. And I was only 25 years old when I had Isabella, 24 pregnant. So I carried this life on, working like this, grinding like this. And on the weekends, just because I couldn't pay my bills anymore, because I was the sole person paying the bills after a divorce, I started cleaning houses on the weekends. Not one house, not two houses a day, like three houses a day, Saturday and Sunday. And it got to a point where I was okay with this because I kind of had like, you know what, I can do this by myself. I don't need child support. I got this. But as Isabella started to get older, she started to hit milestones that I was like, whoa, that would have been amazing if I could have saw that. And I started to get a little bit of not only guilt, but resentment. And what I started was a career that I absolutely loved. I was the career mom, so proud of my degree in human resources, and I started to resent it. And obviously, I couldn't just leave my job. I couldn't just leave and go searching for a new job. I was doing two things on the side. I had a good, a decent position, and I got into a really good engineering firm. So it wasn't an option. But as time went on, I started to experience different things in my life. And it's called like the Sunday scaries, where you're like, oh, I got to go to work tomorrow, or say you have a meeting or with your boss and you can't sleep. I started to experience that. And when Mondays would come around, I'd have what was called the Monday blues. You just kind of have a fog over you, even though I worked all week. And it's like, but where did the weekend go? It's back to the grind, being in my car 5 hours a week commuting. And I got to a point where I had an aha moment, which in the time when things like this happen, you're like, why does this happen? Does this happen to me? But at the same time, I'm so grateful it did because it shook me up enough to realize that I was literally in a position where I was desperate for a change. So I'm very grateful, but I went into work on a Monday and I was sat down and I was told that I was going to be the HR specialist to eliminate a group of employees. So I didn't realize like lay off and eliminate, like eliminate your position is gone, you're not coming back. And how ironic, every one of these people, which it was 10 people, were within the company for over 10 years. So we wait till the end of the day. That's what you do on an elimination process. You walk them out the door, you let them know they no longer have a job. And I got in my car, and all I thought about was I tried to put myself in their situation. So I fast forwarded. Bella was 2. What if I had 10 years in this company? That'd be 12 years. I'm making a 3% increase. That's it every single year. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. When is this going to get better? Money's constantly the issue. And 10 years goes by and I make all these sacrifices, driving 5 hours a week, no flexibility, no freedom. And what if they just took it away from me? I don't know. So that really shook me up. But I got home and I wanted to, not take it out on Bella. So walk in the door, make dinner, and I put her in the bath and read a book. And this was the reason why I finally made a decision because it came from Bella. Bella was an amazing baby. I feel really bad that she was put in the circumstances of really never having a mom around. But this night when I put her to bed, being the great child that she was and would just go off to bed, this night was different. Isabella was screaming, crying. Like I literally thought there was like a hair. Mom, what's going on? It's wrapped around her toe. Is there a monster under the bed? You know how there's a difference between a cry and like just coming out of your eyes, pouring tears? That was her. And I had to look at her and I had to say to her, Isabella, it's going to be okay. I had to turn my back and walk out the door and go in the basement where I didn't have an option but to go do hair because it was paycheck to paycheck, money being the issue. And if I got a nail in my tire or I got sick and I couldn't go clean houses or work, I had to sit just like I'm doing now and pick and choose what bills, like putting food on the table and having the electricity on versus what bills I had to put on the back burner. Like it was that bad. So one day this night that she was crying, I went in the basement and did hair, and I was considering a fourth job. I was literally in the midst of this guy who owned a restaurant, going in after hours and cleaning, having my twin sister come take care of Bella. He was going to give me $100 a day, 500 a week, 2,000 a month. I saw like, okay, maybe I can afford more for Bella. I can do this. I can move up to organic this. And so I said, you know what? I'm not doing that. I'm not getting another job. So I'm scrolling social media, which I want you to hear this because I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have TikTok. I didn't have YouTube. I had 200 friends on Facebook. Drop in the comments how many friends you have on Facebook right now. I had 200. No other social media platform. And I only went on to scroll. And nothing would ever stop my scroll. But this girl one day posted asking for a psychiatrist because her and her partner were struggling so much financially that it was causing so much tension that they were literally going to leave each other. I wasn't in that situation, but having the pain and the constant burn of money always being the issue I could feel. So I'm like, oh, I can feel it. Like we should be friends. But I didn't say that because I am a situational extrovert. Okay. Situational. I'm introverted. Like I really like my alone time. So I end up scrolling past. I don't message her. And weeks go by, months go by, and she posts again like this really happy picture. And she's the reason why I found a solution. And listen to this, a girl that reached out to me 5 years prior, who was in a health and wellness company. It was a fitness program company. She reached out to me, and I was a hard no to her. I'll never forget. I was cleaning houses, and I'm like, "What is she trying to tell me, that I should be a coach because I need to lose weight?" I ended up saying no, but I reached back out. I said, "Hey, just to let you know, I found a solution and I want to come do this with you." And she had quit the profession. So I jumped all in with someone else. I ended up jumping in with someone who did not know how to lead anyone, didn't answer text messages, didn't do anything, which I was like, you know what? It's okay. I got this. I can do this. I'm a single mom. I can do it alone. I can do this. YouTube, reading books. And the book that I came across, which is called Six Figures to Success by Rob Sperry, I met John. And when I was following John, I'm like, this is a leader that is like literally in the trenches, like cheering you on. It does not exist. There's a lot of people out there who talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And just like with the ATM system, John, one thing that I admire about him and Nadia is times are always changing. His ATM system isn't the same as it was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, even last year. So if
Right.
you're, oh, ATM challenge, like I already did that. You need to learn as a leader, even if this is your day number one, that you have to pivot with what is working. And that's something that I've always done is behind the scenes at the end of the day. What did I do? And what worked instead of throwing spaghetti at the wall? So I ended up, after a year of talking and going back and forth with John, walking away from an $89,000 income, starting from scratch, the scariest thing in the entire world. But I realized with the systems, the hero products, and the leadership, long term, I could help more people. So that's where we're at. And now I've helped 4,000 customers in the last 9 months get started on amazing products and recruited over 157 people who are actually showing up and doing the work because I'm actually not just telling them what to do, but like John said in my power hours and stuff, I show them what to do.
It's so powerful. And maybe you could share with people like some of the things that you do, because I know you're very strategic and intentional with your income producing activities. Like what are some of those needle movers? You know, the follow-ups, the reach outs, the videos, like share some of those DMOs because I think that's something that a lot of people, because they're sitting at home and they're like, I'm my own boss and I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner. They don't intentionally work their business the way you do, the way I do. So what are some of those things that you see that people maybe aren't doing or just don't realize the importance of it? I would love for you to talk a little bit about that.
So that's a great question because I talk to people every day and I'm like, okay, how many friends do you have? And they're like 700. But today I just added 40 new friends. And I'm like, so if I go on your page, all 700 of those friends that you currently have, I mean, you've reached out to them and let them know that you have something. And if they're open to taking a look, and if not, no big deal. I mean, think about it. You're basically a consultant. That's something that I really did is I married the process, I divorced the results. We have a DMO. So many I hear every day how much they suck at doing the DMO. If you stopped saying that out loud and just went and did it, it wasn't an option. I was so desperate, it did not matter. I couldn't care. See, maybe you're in a position where you're like, I have a full time job. I'm making money. Yeah, I want to have a few extra $100 or I want to pay off my debt, but it's not the need of desperation where it's something where you're like, okay, like I wasn't going to see my kid. I was going to have a child that literally I'd spend maybe 5 hours a week with, and I was going to drive myself into the ground and be no part of her life and have an ex husband. So that was not an option. I'm like, I need to get my butt out of the situation I'm in, have freedom, have flexibility. And there's no better way than doing what it is that we are doing. And it's proof, it's proven, it's 100%. Most business owners don't last. They can't do it for 10 years. They can't, they go out of business and their upfront is $50,000. You can get started with the best package ever, like average with our company, the best one for like $395. So that can't be a reason. But because of that reason, you're not taking action because you didn't pay enough. So that's why when John and I do trainings together, I'd love to throw it out there and be like, hey, you know what? It's free. It's free 99. But when you actually take something and you provide money out of your pocket, you're that much more likely to show up. So the daily things that you need to be doing is you need to every single day go to your friends list and every day have a different theme because you're probably going to be like, this is boring. This isn't something I want to do for the rest of my life. This isn't something you're going to have to do for the rest of your life. But every day, you should be going through your friends list. I want you to go to sort, and I want you to start at the oldest friends first. And I
Mm.
want 20 people. I'm not kidding, 20 people. You'll do it in less than 20 seconds or 20 minutes. You're going to message them and you're going to say something like, hey, Brittany, I hope you're having a great day. Happy Friday. I'm curious. I have this thing that has helped me in so many ways. And if I were to share information with you, would you take a look? And if not, no big deal at all. That's it to 20 people. But you have to follow up with those 20 people in 2 days. So today's Friday. When would I follow up with the people that I'm talking to today? That's correct on a Sunday. If I don't want to work Sundays, I need to have someone doing those follow ups because you are going to get 1 out of 10 people who will respond. The second you do that follow up, you are now going to get 3 out of 10 people. You are not going to get a yes until probably the seventh touch with this person. Okay. If so, it's a miracle because that just does not happen. So you need to be inviting every single day, not just starting conversations. That's the second thing. You need to be going to your newest friends first now. Sort it. Newest friends. And you need to go to their wall and you need to look at what they've been up to and either ask a question. And you know what? I didn't know how to either. I had to literally, I'd go to my husband, who I'm Jeff now, and be like, Jeff, I don't know how to talk through a screen. Now you have Chat GPT. Like this woman, she's at a park and her daughter is by a duck. And I want to start a conversation with her because I have a daughter. We like to go to the park. What can I say? And it'll literally tell you how to start a conversation with her. And if you really don't know how to do that, then it's as simple as, hey, Brittany, happy Friday. How are you doing? What's up? What you been up to? Okay. You're probably saying, well, they're friends of mine from high school or it's family. I don't care. Okay. Those friends and those family are your warm market. And half the time you make up an assumption in your mind that they don't need what it is that you have. They're the ones that need it the most. So
Mm.
stop people. That's one thing that I learned in the restaurant industry. No one wants to take tables that are a certain thing. I'm like, I'm here anyways. Why wouldn't I take it? And here I got a 25% tip. So you have to just marry the process, divorce the results. You got to have content. Okay. You got to have content around your product once a week. What does that look like? I just had a massive one blow up by saying, oh my gosh, I just heard from a friend that she's down 14 pounds, 8% body fat, and 12 inches in 90 days with a pretty background. That's it. You know how many people John commented on it? People are like, what is it? What is it? What is it? All I have to say is, if I were to share a video with you that explains it better than I can, would you take a peek? I don't got to go in there and say, oh my God, it's going to make you lose so much weight. It's going to give you so much energy. I'm down. No. If I were to, would you point them to a tool That's all you need to realize, is that you are consulting them to something. Okay? You need to be engaging. You have the same people on your stories every single day because you're not starting the conversations. This daily method of operation is a lot like baking a cake. How would your cake taste if you had 7 ingredients and you just decided to use 2? Versus if you had 7 ingredients and you actually used all 7 to make the cake. Who cares that it's going to take you a little bit longer? Get good with your time. Eat the Frog is the best book you could ever read. Get timers, literally set it, do it, go to the next task. And then if you can just keep repeating that, then you can do it as many times as you can throughout the day. And I want you to think about your days. I literally went and had to get my dog tag, engraved, and it took like 6 minutes. It was so annoying. I had to get 3 of them. And that time I was in my inbox, like literally, I'm like, I'm making money from my phone. Like, I don't care if I have to wait in line anymore. I don't care if I'm at the car pickup. I don't care that when the soccer game has halftime, all these parents are chit chatting. I'm building a massive bank account, going for a walk, and working on my phone. They
Yeah,
don't have,
I just want to say this too. It's so funny because just last night or 2 nights ago when I was playing pickleball, one of these guys comes up to me and he's like, "Oh man, you," because it was in between games, so like you play for 2 games and then you sit out a game while the other 4 people play. Anyway, so this guy's like, "Oh man, you didn't even notice I was trying to take your paddle. You're always on your phone." This is a guy that does not know what I do, does not really know me. He's just played me, and I'm laughing because I'm like, this is probably what everybody that knows me thinks. Like, that guy's always on his phone. But it's because for me, it's like I just played 2 games in a row for 30 minutes or whatever it was, 25 minutes. And now I'm just going to go respond to some messages real quick. Like, I'm obsessed with what we do. And people are like, how are you always so focused, so fired up? You're so positive, which, by the way, nobody's positive all the time. It's just you think that because compared to you and you're stinking thinking because you're sitting there feeling sorry for yourself because you don't have leads, your business isn't growing, your business is maybe even going backwards, and you can't find the motivation. Anybody else understand what I'm talking about? But Michelle is so fired up because she's always talking to new people. I'm always fired up because I'm always talking to new people. And we're not just talking to them about the weather. We're talking to them about the products, the opportunity. Like, I'm ATMing still after 23 years. I'm adding people to the groups. I'm tagging them in the videos. I'm setting up group chats every single day with my business prospects, introducing them to other people on the team. I'm freaking relentless. Michelle is relentless. And maybe you're not like us, but if you could just be 10% like us, if you could just be 10% like us, would you agree your business would be way bigger than it is right now? And so many of you are all up in your head. You got analysis paralysis. I don't know what to say to people. Say something, anything. The worst thing you can do is say nothing. I love the tip about sort your oldest friends. Just start reaching out. It's like, why are you friending up new people and putting out content, trying to get attention and followers if you're not going to talk to the people you're already connected to? What are you waiting for? Christmas? That doesn't make any sense. Be proactive, be intentional. If you started reaching out to 10, 20, 30 people a day, everything would change for you for the better. Everything would change for you. I got a couple questions for you, though, Michelle. When you initially reach out to people, number one, how many people do you reach out to per day? And what is your initial message to someone, whether they are engaging or watching your content or not? Because obviously it is a little different if you're reaching out to someone you haven't talked to in 3 years and they're not engaging versus someone that's actually following. So those are my 2 questions. After years of you doing this now and you're crushing it, how many people do you still reach out to per day? And then what does that initial reach out look like?
Great question. And this is going to blow your mind, but it's got to be a minimum of 50. And if you go to your stories right now and you tell me it's the same people on your stories, listen, I will tell you right now that if John were to come look at my phone and go to my archive, every single person on my story has been touched, either a new conversation started, an invite to something, a follow up within the last 7 days.
Mm.
7. You have people on your stories that if I click on it, I can guarantee you it's been 3 months. Do you have a promo? Okay, your company doesn't do promos. Can you create a promo? Can you take $5 out of your, you know what I mean? Like, can you run a program like a 5-day reverse aging challenge where now you're like, you can be a part of something? Have you followed up? Did you just redirect the conversation and be like, hey, how are you doing? And to be honest with you, I will be real. You might think that this is bad listening to this, but if they're on my friends list, I would much rather, this is just because this is my personality. If I haven't talked to them in 3 years, I would much rather go up to them and actually ask them if they're open to taking a look at what it is that I'm doing or my product. Just because if I feel like I'm having a conversation with them, and then all of a sudden I throw in my product, I feel like you have to be really experienced. See, now I'm experienced. Now I know how to 3 years go. I could go to someone who I haven't talked to in 3 years, have a conversation and learn how to pivot it. But that
Yeah.
took time. That took a lot of time.
It is funny because you can do something as easy as like, what are you doing for residual income these days? And they'll either say nothing or what's that? I mean, it's amazing how we overthink it. And it's just saying anything. You just test it out. You have to be okay with being embarrassed. You have,
Yep.
like, some of you are like 50 a day. Okay, if that's too much, do 50 a week. How many of you honestly do 50 a month? What is the point of being on social media if you're not going to socialize, if you're not going to proactively, intentionally reach out to people? And for those of you that are like, hey, can I see her scripts? Absolutely. That's why we're doing the ATM challenge next week. The ATM challenge, you're going to get everything and so much more. It's 5 hours of training with Michelle and I. It's 1 hour a day, 5 days straight. You're going to get scripts, strategies, examples of what to say, what to do, follow ups. Like, it is going to blow your mind. Make sure you check out the link because we have everything broken down what each day is going to cover. So drop ATM challenge in the comments or go to mylifestyleacademy.com/ATM challenge. So yes, you'll get the scripts and strategies. You'll see exactly what she's doing. And if you do VIP, you're going to have that Q&A opportunity to ask us questions and have access to the power hours that she's going to do. And it does not matter what company you're in, what product you're selling. This is for everybody in any company. And it's free 99 unless you do VIP, which I would recommend you do VIP because it's a write-off and you're investing in yourself. Michelle, what do you do once they say yes? So they say, yeah, I want to check it out. Or yeah, what is it? Or tell me more. What do
Right.
you do? What's your process?
For recruiting or for a prospect or for a customer?
Let's do both.
Okay. So honestly, it would be awesome if I were to share a 90-second video with you that explains it better than I can. Would you take a peek? And then I put like a couple set spaces. Curious, do you have some current health goals that you are working towards that you're open to discussing with me? Okay. They're going to say yes because you're just asking them. You're not like bombarding them with something. And same with the business side. I mean, if John were to walk up to me right now and I was teaching fitness, he's like, Michelle, I see you online a lot. Like, what are you up to? It's so confusing to explain. If I were to share a video with you that explains it better than I can, if I shoot it to you, would you watch it? They always say yes. No one wants to hear it coming out of your mouth. As much as you're like, oh my gosh, like, and that's something that I realized when I ask people who come in, are you positive, coachable, willing to grow? Especially people who come in from other companies and didn't have like a system in place. It's like, hey, get out of your stinking thinking and thinking that the way you were doing it is right and just follow this process. 6 months down the road, they're like, Michelle, guess what else comes with that? Duplication. I have people out there helping support me because I am not going and word bombing on anyone. I'm not like, listen, I do this, this, and this, and that. I'm like, if I were to share something with you, great. And that you add them to a group, tag them. I leverage John, three-way chats, which is all the things. And just so you know, even when I was ATMing people 6 months ago, it's different today because we're always evolving. We're always changing. More people are open more than ever right now. I don't care what you think. So you have to realize that what you were doing 6 months ago, you need to be a part of these challenges. You need to be a part of these learnings. You need to constantly be tuning in to leaders like John and I that are actually doing it. I mean, John, like, who do you know that's been in the industry 23 years with over 9 recruits this month? Who does trainings almost every other day on social media, like showing up and letting you know, honestly, what is working with one of the number one teams. I don't care, in the whole network marketing space, not just within our company. So that's all I do is they say yes, is I ask them, but then guess what I'm doing with them when they say yes? Great. The video that I have that explains it better than I can, it's inside of this group. Once you add in, shoot me a thumbs up and I'm going to tag you in that video that explains it better than I can. So now the group, which is basically like a free dripping system. Because anyone who goes in there and maybe there's a new realtor that signs up and they're a realtor, or maybe they saw that there's a 500 bonus thing going on right now, they're constantly, without being dripped on from you, being dripped on from that group. And to top it off, you can go into that group, you can search members, you can go to your name, and every person you added in that group is in there. So every month I go in that group, and every single person that I have in there, I got to start at the bottom now because I've been in there for 3 years almost. And let me tell you, it's a long list. But what about those people? You got to remember, just like any business, Old Navy does not fire out. How many emails does Old Navy have? How many people came in the store today? All that matters is that Old Navy showed up and they put their marketing out there.
That's
Just
right.
like maybe 50 is too much, I disagree. That's 50 minutes while you're inviting, you could engage and comment on their wall. You literally invited them and you need to have content. That is it. I didn't have time for content. I did it the night before. Okay, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and work out. I'm going to take a few pictures of some moves, go to the program I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to pack my lunch and then I just upload them. Took me 5 minutes. So you can do this in an hour a day, but that's for the person who's like, you know what? I'm done. I want freedom.
That's right.
That will come, that freedom and flexibility. You do that 100%. I did it in 18 months and I got to fire every single one of my freaking bosses. But never once did I slow down. Never once did I say, oh my gosh, this month I got, all I know, John will ask me, how many are you at? I don't know. All I know is every month I set a goal. And if I don't get there, I reverse engineer. Otherwise,
Right. Oh no, what happened? Oh, technology. Michelle, we lost you. Desi, if you could help get Michelle back on there, that was so good. Oh, there she is. What's up?
I don't have, you know what I mean? Like, it's one thing if you need to track what you're doing because I need to be able to help you. If you're not hitting your numbers and you're like, dude, I want to be making $500 a month. And I come to you and say, okay, how many people have you talked to since Monday? And you can't tell me, I can't help you.
Right.
I need to have a number. But for me, I have numbers every month written on paper that I stare at every morning. And at the end of the month, I go back and then I'll look at it. But I don't know, like today, as of the 14th, how many people or whatever date it is today, how many people I've recruited. I know it's over 10, but that's about it.
What do you say to people that go, oh, my warm market sucks? Like, I've done all these, they're not answering, they're not interested. My warm market's burnt. What do you say to those people?
So the best thing is when I do power hours, I physically have my screen shown, and there are literally blue, 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 blue. One response from them, blue, 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 blue. One response from them, blue, 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 blue. Oh, they signed up. So if you have reached out to the person literally still to this day within the last 30 days and they haven't told you to stop or take you off your list, you're full of asset. You're full of it. That's literally like saying that you have people who go to Somerset, which is a mall 5 minutes from me, and that their market of people who live within 5 miles are no longer in their market. That is
It's
not
so
true.
true. It's so funny though, right? Because people, like, how many friends do you have? 1,000, but none of them are interested. Like, none of them are interested in making more money or losing weight or getting in shape or being healthier, happier, having more energy. Not one of them, really. You don't think any of them, especially with what we sell, right? With our products, like, so none of them need like more protein. None of them need, like, they don't drink coffee. All 1,000 people don't drink coffee. All 1,000 people don't need better like mood enhancing or
Know
weight.
that.
Not a single one. I doubt that's the case. But this is the problem with so many of you is you're prejudging people. You're just assuming they're not going to be interested, and maybe they weren't interested in the past. That's probably true. But Michelle just said it. Like, she's sending message, 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 message. And then, after 3, 4, 5, 6 messages over the course of a year, now they're buying. Now, you might not want to bombard people. You may not want to chase after people. But at the end of the day, like, if you don't want to, oh, we keep losing her. What keeps happening? But if you don't want to reach out to the people you're already connected with, that's fine. That's cool. Go find some new people in groups, through reels, through, like, there's so many ways to meet new people. In fact, if you look at my business today, this is a crazy fact. I'm going to share a little factoid with you. Been in the same company 9 years. 99% of the people in my business right now, I didn't know them and they didn't know me when I got started 9 years ago. Again, 99% of the people in my business right now, I did not know them and they did not know me when I joined my business. And mind you, I was in network marketing for 14 years before I joined my current company. So the company I'm in right now, I was in 14 years in the industry before I even joined this company 9 years ago. So where are all those people? Who cares? Like, sure, some of them have bought products. Some of them have joined. Like I said, 1% are people that I knew before, but I had to build a whole new network clearly. So even if it was a reality for you that your warm markets heard everything, you've talked to all of them, which again, I doubt, you can meet new people. Right. So, Michelle, let's talk about that. Where are you finding most of your new people, your leads, your new followers, your new customers? Where are you finding them from?
Well, first of all, John, like every 90 days, someone's life situation and their goal, their life changes. So I
Mm,
don't reach everyone in your warm market. Literally, things change like that. So if you're
right.
not checking in with them every 90 days, I mean, honestly, it comes down to that. So I'm finding people, I'll be honest with you, there's a couple places. So number one, lives, going live. I add a ton of value. I mean, I show up on a good day, bad day, busy day, ugly day. There's days where I'm like, dude, I have no energy, but I just bring the hype. I try to get fired up. I try to get excited. Going live, creating reels, giving value.
Mm.
What I'm with you about drinking water is going to absolutely blow your mind. My name is Michelle Churchill Dworak, and I used to drink 12 ounces of water, and I was diagnosed with dehydration, which made me put on 30 pounds until I did these two things. Hit the follow button, comment below water bottle if you're like, what water bottle actually encouraged you to drink water? I'm giving out freebie, but now they're following me. So the more people you have that are seeing you over time, it's just statistically a factual thing that the human brain psychology, they become attracted to it. One time they're going to be like, okay, she is live. One time her reel is, she's annoying. I don't want to see her reel, but I'm just going to watch it because I've seen her so much. Okay, her stories are always lit up. And sooner or later, it's like fishing. You're going to catch a fish if you don't quit. So that Reels Lives, I love going to Instagram and I love searching places like Clarkston, Michigan. You can go to their stories and starting conversations like, hey, I love that Russian. I was just there last week. What did you get to eat? And conversating with these people. Okay, like I had no Instagram. I remember starting and just being like, I have to talk to 50 people a day. Where am I going to find them? I already went through my 200 friends in like 4 days. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was screwed. The more people you talk to, just like John was doing the mortgage industry, the more what you lack in skill, you make up in numbers. So you can have as much as you want. And then over time, all those people who are start to see you and see you and see you and keep building a relationship with you behind closed doors, it just blows up in your face. You
And then
go
what
from,
what about TikTok?
yeah, I'm live on all three devices: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all devices. That's why I'm always looking like I'm having a seizure when I'm on the screen. You know what I mean? Someone told me that
Three
the other day.
devices, three different platforms. It's amazing. I
Yeah.
love
So TikTok's amazing. You know what I mean? Like these people who are like, I don't have a following. What are you doing? Like go do 5 reels a day. When I met someone who was in this industry, that's still in this industry, and I saw on the screen how much money she was making, who's in the company that I'm with now, I was like, what are you doing? I had no TikTok. I didn't even have a device. I went out and I'm like, who cares? Like what she's making, and I just started and I did reels and I can't remember when I hit 1,000. Like it wasn't while I'm trying. It was done in like 3 freaking weeks. And that's what I did. And then I'm like, okay, Instagram, Facebook, like if I can go, some people say I want to do different platforms. Oh, Facebook is different, so I show up differently. Okay. I don't believe in that. Like, I don't care. Like, I can't show up fire 3 hours out of the day. So I'm doing one. I'm going live. I'll let you know why I'm looking all around. No, I'm not a freak. You know what I mean? I'm on 3 episodes. That's what I tell people. Like, make it sound like you're important. You know what I mean? Live reels, going to Facebook, or going to Instagram and searching places. How about all the times? Here's what I love. I watch people when we're out, like going like this and scrolling reels, and I'm like, what if every person that you just looked at, you started a conversation with? What if
Mm.
every story, and if it's people in the network marketing business, here's what you're going to start doing today. The 3 dots that are on their profile, you're gonna hide their stuff. You're not going to unfollow them, but you don't need to see their stuff. That is a distraction. Anyone who comes up, my team knows on my newsfeed. It happens for a reason. I swipe, I let it refresh once. They came up for a reason. The next day, I'm like, okay, I'm sorting for my newest friends first. I'm scrolling because it's Thursday, 4 days in. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I'm stopping right here. So I never get bored because I'm constantly changing it up. Now I have so many friends. I usually have 20 birthdays a day. So I'll go to those 20 birthday people. Every mutual friend I have in common with the birthday girl, I'm going to pop the question to. So I'm constantly getting, you're stinking thinking and you're talking what you say, what you think. Just stop saying it because it's seriously so bad. Like if you stopped saying it and took action and started turning it into a positive, you would
Mm.
see just from doing that.
How long did it take you to figure out the kind of content that you wanted to create? Because a lot of people struggle with that too. They're like, I don't know what to talk about.
A lot. It was failing. I mean, when I found out this gal was making the money that she was making, I'm like, what am I going to talk about? My house, I had a window in my house in Bloomfield, and I'd sit and make a curtain that looked perfectly beautiful and stand up straight. But you get good at something by doing it. Okay, so how do you walk into a group fitness class? A girl walked in today and she'd never done a group fitness class. Oh, well, ma'am, what do you do? I always tell people you're not allowed to walk out the door. You are here for the remainder of the class because guess how you get better at doing something? By doing it. Don't compare your lunch to my lunch. It's everything in life. Don't compare you to me. I was once you. I was once in your chairs, like literally begging on my hands and knees on how to learn how to have a conversation with someone. Literally pulling and like praying that someone's going to say yes to me. And I just kept going and going and going. And like all my dreams started to come true. And all I needed was to hear it from someone like John. John did it. He did it. It took him 7 years to make a six-figure income, but he did it. And if what he did, he's telling me, I have to just stick to it. He's not making it up. There's so many people. Do you ever go to an event where like it's not just your company and you see all these people? They're not just there for their health. There is no better way. But you have to stop starting. Someone told me yesterday, what is your customer pot at right now? I said, I've sold $25,000 so far. Oh my God. I go, but you know what? You just started doing what I'm doing because I'm helping her, 2 weeks ago. You do that for 2 years because I've never once stopped. I've never stopped in a bad economy. I've never stopped when there's been personal problems, personal situations. Because you want to know why? I have a business that I am able to have a life that I work my business around. Just like John said with pickleball. I go today at 12:15 and go get my nails done. I went last night and messed with the stylist and tried on a few outfits. But you know what? When I get out, I did everything I wanted in my day. I don't have to get stuck in 5 o'clock traffic. I don't have to go to the mall when it's slammed. I don't have to go to the market, Kroger, grocery store on the weekends like I used to have to do. And when you can start to really envision that and realize this is why you're doing it, it's going to motivate you to do it anyways, even when you don't want to. Because I'm going to tell you something. One day a week, I want to do what it is that I'm doing. The follow-ups, the this, the that. I have like pure fire, but I do it anyways because it is so worth it. And I couldn't imagine life any other way.
Well, it's so true too, because it is the lifestyle and the freedom piece that sometimes people don't really get that because like you said in a job or cleaning houses or whatever, even if you made the same money, the work you'd have to do, the amount of time you'd be away from your home while someone else is, raising your children. I was talking to a lady this morning, she's got 7 kids. It's like, it's crazy that, like, can you imagine seven? Like I have enough, my hands full with 2 kids, right? It's like 7 kids. But the point is, whether you have, 1 kid or 7 kids or you have no kids, right? But how many of us, it's like, it's not the money, right? It's not how much money you make, it's how you make your money. And if you can make it from home or virtually anywhere you have an internet connection, we're all online anyway. I would challenge all of you, go to your settings in your phone and look at your screen time. Look at your screen time. Most of you are probably 3, 4, 5 hours a day on average. So you're either consuming content or creating content. You're either using social media or social media is using you. Why wouldn't you use that time to connect with people, to engage with people, to meet new people? If you're in business, it kind of makes sense to do that. In fact, even if you're meeting people in person, why not meet them in person, meet someone in person, and then friend them up on Facebook, right? Have them connect with you on Instagram or whatever platform they're on. I mean, this is really what we do. It's network marketing. We're networking through people to market our products and services. And the truth is, there's a lot of people out there that maybe, they wouldn't want to build a business, but they could use extra money. They would love to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. I like to tell people it's like affiliate marketing on steroids. So these are the things we're going to dive deep on next week. We're going to have slides, resources, scripts. We're going to have everything. Make sure, by the way, if you registered for the ATM challenge, you're in the ATM challenge group. That's where the training is happening. That's where all the resources, scripts, tools, everything is going to be inside that group. And we're going to show it. We're going to show you the selling side, the social media side, the recruiting side, the duplication side, the follow-ups, like all the things that we do. This is not rocket science, right? I'm a community college dropout. It took me 7 years to crack a full-time income and fire my boss and make 6 figures in network marketing. Now, I will tell you, I was making 6 figures in mortgage sales. So I actually took what I learned in network marketing in those early years where I spent more money than I made. I invested more money than I made those first couple of years, but I took that education, that knowledge, learning how to have a work ethic and not make excuses and learning how to communicate and talk to people and follow up, all the things. And I took that into mortgages and I became the #1 loan officer in a very large mortgage company in Baltimore made 600,000 in 4 years. But guess what? No residuals, no leverage. Stop working, stop getting paid. And again, I'm in the office all day, every day, working 80 hours a week. Like Michelle said, she can get her nails done. And, Nadia right now, I think, is headed to a facial. I'm actually getting a facial here in a little bit, right? I'm going to get a facial. Then I'm going to my son's college baseball game. Yesterday, I went to his game. I went to his college game. And then after that, we had sushi. And then we went to Christina's volleyball game. Tomorrow, we got something else going on. Oh, he's got another game. He's got this, like, they call it like a World Series, like inter-squad World Series with his team playing. They play each other, basically. The point is, it's not just the money. It's the freedom and flexibility. It's the lifestyle. We're headed to Cabo at the end of the month for our company escape trip. Like, how awesome is that? Then we're doing a team retreat at our Destin mansion with Michelle and Ashley's teams. Like, that's so crazy. Like, it's just so much more than money. So if you could get over your stinking thinking, your analysis paralysis, and your weak sauce, like, there's so many people that have a miracle in their mouth. You, me, Michelle, we all have a miracle in our mouth. And there's people on their knees every night praying for that miracle. You have a solution to their problems, but you need to approach people with posture, with confidence. And if you don't have that, that's why you need the ATM challenge. Because the ATM challenge, we're going to help you build up your confidence. We're going to help you create the content, create the consistency. We're going to help you with what to do every day, what to say every day. You're going to see exactly what Michelle does and how she does it, especially for those of you that choose the VIP option. The VIP option is going to be insane because you'll be able to pick our brain. You'll be able to access the 2 power hours that we're doing and so much more. So check out the link, mylifestyleacademy.com/ATM challenge. Share it with your team. Again, it doesn't matter what company you're in, what products you're selling. Everybody should and could do this. And you can register. You can see right there, free 5-day rank up, bank up ATM challenge. So get registered, check it out. And I would highly recommend sharing with your teammates. Smash the heart button if you love this, if you really loved it. Smash the share button. Michelle, anything else you want to say to close us out today?
No, you haven't. If this doesn't fire you up, I don't know what does. Because all I got to do is listen to Mr. Melton. Check your pulse, because this is fire. Like, you guys, like, seriously, just get out there and do the do. And you know what, John? Here's what I do want to say. It is your mindset. You want to know why? Because I give people, like, here, go put this on your story, go put this on your wall, and they still won't do it. It's like, wait, you're like, literally, I'm like a spoon feeding you. It's like, okay, so you literally are crippled inside. What are you afraid of? Your friend, your family member? Do they have your life? Because I can tell you right now, all 4 of my siblings and my brother blocked me on social media. And I could care less, because when I lay my head on my pillow at night, they have no lifestyle that I want to be living. Because this is my life and this is how I want to live it. So remember that.
Bottom line, if someone isn't making fun of you, or you're not experiencing some rejection, some embarrassment, you're not doing much. That's just the truth, right? Some of us are affected by these trolls with goals. Their whole goal is to shut you up, shut you down, keep you small. It's like the crabs in a bucket. It's that same mentality, right? The crabs keep pulling each other down, right? This is the reality. In fact, I heard this 23 years ago. People are like sheep. People are like sheep. And the truth is, when you when you start branching out, right, you start doing something outside of the herd, you start to, stretch yourself and do something that most people would be terrified to do. Most people don't have much courage. Most people are stuck in a rut, and they're like the dog laying on the nail, right? You walk by, dog's laying on the porch moaning and groaning. Like, what's wrong with that dog? Like, oh, he's laying on a nail. Why doesn't he get up? Why doesn't he get up? Because it doesn't hurt that bad. Right? It doesn't hurt that bad. That's you. That's a lot of you. You're the dog laying on the nail, or you're like the sheep, right? And the people, when you leave, it's like, come back, come back. They don't want you to go out there and do something amazing with your life, because then what's their excuse, right? You cannot allow those people, whether it's your brother, your brother-in-law, your parents, your kids, your neighbor, your coworkers. Look, if they're a negative Nancy, block them, unfollow them, unfriend them, like, get them out of your social media. There's too many people out there. Look, here's the bottom line. I'm gonna wrap up with this. There's too many people out there starting a home business. There's too many people buying our products. There's, like, our team last month brought in 4,500 new customers. 4,500 new customers last month. So, and those are new customers. That's not all the existing customers that are ordering. That's not all the existing social marketers that are ordering, right? That's new customers, 4,500 in 30 days. The point is, there's new people getting started every day. There's new people joining me, joining Michelle. There's new people joining your company. There's people buying your company's products every day. New people that are getting started. So the point is, they're either joining your business or someone else's. So you have to be okay with the rejection. You have to be okay with some people, making fun of you or thinking what you're doing is weird. Don't you agree, though, that if someone thinks you're doing something weird, right? You're doing something that's like outside the norm, but they're doing something normal, right? If they're making 50,000 a year, they can't teach you how to make 50,000 a month, or they would already be doing it. So be very careful who you let influence you. We're trying to influence you and even brainwash you into buying into your own possibilities, buying into your limitless possibilities. And that's what I always say to people. I'm like, don't you want to see what you're made of? Aren't you curious what's possible? Like, do you really want to be laying on your deathbed one day, hopefully decades from now, saying, oh, mom or grandma couldn't cut it because she didn't want to do live videos, because she didn't want to reach out to her chicken list, because she didn't want to put herself out there on social media because a few of her family members made fun of her. Ridiculous. So get registered for the ATM challenge. Get excited. Tell your face, because Michelle and I are going to rock your world next week. And if you need the link, again, if you're a replay viewer, we're going to change the description so you'll see it afterwards, or go into the comments, drop ATM challenge. You can also take a screenshot right there, mylifestyleacademy.com/ATM challenge. And we'll see you next week. Sayonara. Thanks, Michelle. You're the best.